45F. Friend is mad that I 47F won't donate to her GoFundMe. How do I resolve this? Too long did not read. At the bottom, a friend of mine started a GoFundMe and asked if I was the $500 anonymous donor. I told her I was not. She asked how much I'd be able to give. I told her that I couldn't afford to give anything right now. She's mad. I was laid off several months ago. I've been working 6-7 days a week, making less than 1/5 what I used to make while I keep looking. I'm taking odd jobs in addition. I was the primary earner for a family of 4. We are at a point now where it's hard to afford groceries and gas to get to work. I've stopped some of my prescriptions. I've put off some medical care. We've sold my truck, my horse trailer, and my horse. She knows this. On top of that, she runs a non-profit, what the GoFundMe is for, that is pretty volunteer dependent for daily operations like feeding, watering, medicating, and cleaning up after animals. I've been a volunteer for 9 years. It's difficult to keep volunteers because people show up all, I can't wait to pet a pony, and don't realize that it's hard, dirty work rain or shine, hot or cold. More poop slinging than pony petting. As the temps have cooled off, mud season is upon us and busy holidays loom. Several volunteers have quit, so I have already put in 35 hours this month, and have quite a lot more coming up to cover holidays when she and the remaining volunteers are out of town. Even when I'm not scheduled, I handle the emergency intakes that often keep me at the barn all night, giving fluids or monitoring or doctoring injuries. Well, since I told her I can't give money this time, she's not taking my calls and only texts me to let me know what special projects need to be tackled or if one of the horse's medical condition has changed. All business and quite terse. We used to talk a couple times per day. I get that she is disappointed because she needs another couple thousand to reach this goal, and I have contributed in the past. But I am disappointed that she even asked me for money knowing my situation, and I'm angry that she's treating me this way. I feel like I already do an awful lot for her, and have for a decade. I value her as a friend, and I care about the rescue and the animals we help rehab and find homes for. So I'm looking for a way to clear the air. I can't make the money up to her, with more volunteer hours, as I quite literally do not have any more free time. I'm exhausted and I barely see my family. And even if I got a new job tomorrow, I won't be in a position to donate to any of her special projects until we have rebuilt our savings. I'm at a loss as to what to say or do. Any ideas from an outside perspective? Too long did not read. Friend is mad because I can't donate money to her project because I was laid off and we are barely scraping by. She's only speaking to me via text and only about the volunteer work I do for her rescue. I want to clear the air and salvage the friendship, but I'm pretty hurt at the moment and don't know what to say. Edit. Thanks for responses so far. I will come back to the post in the morning. Have to get up early for work. Sounds like she uses you and you're desperate for her to like you. I value her as a friend and I care about the rescue and the animals we help rehab and find homes for. She's your friend. You are her resource of time, labor, and money. Do with that what you will. Set up your own GoFundMe for being unemployed and ask her to donate. Then find a different rescue to volunteer for. A real friend wouldn't do this to you. For anything, a real friend would try to be of assistance to you. Groceries, gas money, light bill money, hell, any kind of money, she should have been helping you and not abusing your kindness. Reevaluate that friendship. It kind of seems like one of those situations of don't argue with an idiot, like she sounds like a selfish person. So not sure anything would change her mind and how she treats you. I'm exhausted and I barely see my family. Girl, I'm going to give you a hard truth. We teach people how to treat us and your friend is using you. Full stop. Your relationship is transactional, and if you can't work for her for free and donate money that you don't even have to pay your bills and get the medication you need, she isn't interested in being a friend to you. I recommend you tell her Beck of your dire financial situation. You won't be able to volunteer for the next 6 months, starting immediately. You've got to stand up for yourself, and the sooner you do, the better. My 30F older half-sister, 36F, has stopped speaking to me after I got married to my husband, 32M. My 30 older half-sister, 36, has slowly been cutting contact with me since I got married to my husband, 32. Please be kind because I really don't know how to handle this situation. For background, I have had a really close relationship with my older half-sister since I was around 12. I am no contact with my mother. We do not have the same mom, due to her complicity of physical abuse from my stepdad and my older half-sister really stepped up to fill a role I needed in my life. She has been there for me for relationship advice, career advice, and always as someone to talk to. We share another half-sister, all the same dad, different moms, and had a group chat where we all would talk daily. I got married in May, and we haven't spoken since the first day of my honeymoon. I really miss it, and I don't even understand what went so wrong. Before you think this may have to do with the person I married, she never said anything negative about him, nor did she ever even attempt to dissuade me from getting married. In fact, it was quite the opposite. She would reaffirm that she believed we were truly in love and a great couple. I would have no reason to think she was upset about the union itself. On my wedding night, no one in either of our families or the wedding coordinator I hired got our gifts, and they were later stolen along with an envelope with a large sum of cash. This highly upset me. 3 days after the wedding, when I realized no one got the gifts, I immediately asked my family in a group chat what they knew. I mostly received half-hearted responses, and this frustrated me even more. I then texted my older sister and expressed my frustration at the lack of urgency because my husband and I hadn't received much, and what we did was stolen. It felt violating. She immediately responded blaming my husband and I's friends in the wedding party, saying that they had already stolen an extreme amount of items, so we should ask them and not the family. This response took me aback, because no one had even alluded to this to either my husband or I. For context, this was a backyard wedding, and we got ready in homes my family lives in on the property. None of my siblings lived there, only my dad and grandfather in separate houses. My husband and I had both mentioned during the wedding that the amount of caterers and vendors going in and out of the home without any supervision was concerning, and someone should probably supervise at least. I tried to explain this to her and said I felt my perspective was more likely, given that my husband and I witnessed the vendors having direct access and going into the room where items, not my gifts, were supposedly stolen. She immediately dismissed this thought and asked if I thought her child, my nephew and ring bearer in the wedding, was a liar. Again, this took me aback because she never even mentioned that he witnessed this and just opened with "your friends are thieves, so start there." I responded, "No. You never said he witnessed that until just now, so how would I have known?" She then said that multiple other children confirmed this, and then a few text messages layered said she herself witnessed it. She kept insisting my husband and I have no real friends, and saying some really mean and hurtful things about their character, who, mind you, she met the majority of that weekend. We both went to college out of state, and most of the wedding party were college friends who have never. Her thought process just seemed very odd, and not like the person I've known. I again expressed my frustration with her disparaging remarks about people she barely knew for a few hours, because apparently over 15 people that she's never had contact with before are all evil to the core, and apparently all 15 stole gifts, one being larger than a suitcase itself, to get on flights the next day. The fees they would have had to pay in extra baggage would have been a greater value than just buying the items outright. She insisted that one of my bridesmaids was a cheater, saying she slept with the best man, both are married, and kept repeating, "Ask that skank, liar, thief, and whore," and I bet she knows exactly where it all went. These responses honestly astounded me, because I have never heard her speak so aggressively towards me in over 17 years of an extremely close relationship. I just kept expressing disbelief, asking what she was talking about, and then she told me to stop blaming family and blame both of your terrible friends. I said no, I just believe it was a vendor. I don't think anyone in the family stole from me. And she went back into another rant about the above bridesmaid in particular. At this point, I am visibly upset, crying, shaking, because I don't even understand where this is coming from. This was also as we are attempting to leave on our honeymoon. My husband has now noticed how upset I am and asks what's wrong. My older half-sister then calls me and continues her rant about how it was our friends and we need to confront them and not blame our brother. Our brother, her full sibling, my half-sibling, was a drug addict over 10 years ago. He has since gotten clean, married, and had 2 children. There was a point in his life that he may have done something like that, but I had never up until that point said that he did it, nor did I believe that he did. I still don't think he did, I think. Things got so odd it makes me question everything. I'd like to believe he put that chapter of his life to bed many years ago, as he really takes the role of a father and stepfather seriously, because he's never even hinted towards going back that way at all in the last decade. At this point I start screaming. I never said that to her on the phone. I'm pretty sure I started having a panic attack, because my husband then took the phone out of my hands and began talking to her on speaker in front of me. She then starts screaming that we both need to stop blaming Alan when neither one of us even said that a single time. My husband was perplexed and asked, "What are you talking about?" She then went straight into telling him how all of his friends are thieves, and we are both bad judges of character from the people we assigned to the wedding party. He took this pretty seriously and defended his groomsman's character. Because despite saying there were many witnesses, when he pressed her he never got an account of what, when, or how things were stolen. She then said, "F this. I'm getting my husband," who she screamed at, and said they're blaming Alan for stealing. Her husband answers the phone with, "Why are you all blaming Alan for stealing?" My husband then laughs in disbelief and reiterates again that neither of us said that, nor do we think that. Her husband then states that's not what she told him, and my husband says, "I don't know why she thinks that, but we did not say that." They had a pretty civil discussion, and I went on my honeymoon thinking she would reach out afterwards, hopefully to apologize for the misunderstanding. That didn't happen. In fact, she has now unfollowed me on all social media platforms, removed any photos of me, untagged herself from my photos, and I'm not sure how, but our sister group chat is gone. I don't know if she blocked my number or what, but it's as if I was removed from a 3-person chat, because one day it disappeared from my pinned messages. I searched and could not find it. I never delete messages, so I didn't do that. She also stopped sharing her location with me. She has also spread the narrative that I've blamed our brother for this, as one day our grandmother called me to ask why I thought he stole from my wedding. I have maintained that I never once said that. I believe it was someone working for a vendor, as there were many of them with direct access. From everything I've been able to confirm through cell phone photos and videos from that night, accounts from our photographer/videographer husband and wife duo and their second shooters, we have worked with them for years, and I doubt they would risk taking their reputation for a large towel warmer. None of what my older sister alleged has been confirmed. What is weird to me is my dad has outdoor cameras. I've repeatedly asked for the footage from that night/next morning, and every time he says he'll get it to me, he doesn't. I worry it's not even available now. I've asked over 5 times, and I've kinda given up. I don't even really know what to do. I don't know what happened, but now I question if my brother really did steal it. I really don't want to believe that's true. It's just everyone in my family's reactions felt out of character. I still haven't spoken to her to this day. Both of her children, my nephews, have had birthdays since then, and my birthday wishes sent directly to their phone numbers went unanswered for the first time ever. I worry she is going no contact with me, but I don't even understand why in the first place. I also don't feel in my heart like I should reach out to apologize first, because all I did was try to have a wedding day with the person I love and our closest family and friends. I never did the things she accused me of, and even if she truly believes our friends are that bad, my husband and I go years without seeing them because of the distance. They don't have the proximity to affect her directly, so it isn't like she has to be around them past that day. It's hard for me to understand her perspective, because even if I thought our younger sister had the worst friends, I can't imagine cutting her off in this way to drive her into those friendships even more. I love her and her family, especially my nephews, and I'm genuinely scared we may never speak again now that it's going on over 6 months. The more your sister protests and tries to divert your attention elsewhere, the more guilty she sounds. Your dad refuses to give you video footage, so I'm guessing he knows what really happened as well. What is weird to me is my dad has outdoor cameras. I've repeatedly asked for the footage from that night/next morning, and every time he says he'll get it to me, he doesn't. I worry it's not even available now. I've asked over 5 times, and I've kinda given up. Your sister stole your wedding gifts, and your dad is covering for her. Make an alt Facebook account from a new email and a different name/pic. Get on Marketplace, or by sell/trade groups local to her, and search for your stuff. I think you can see everything she's posted if she has a Marketplace profile, but she's probably blocked your account, so you'll need to make a new one, or have an acquaintance she doesn't know look. Also try eBay. She knows exactly who stole the money. Maybe it was your brother, maybe it was her kid, maybe it was your dad, maybe it was her. But apparently her genius plan for diverting suspicions, it doesn't sound like you would have had if she hadn't been so weird about it, is to make you too confused why she's being so aggressive to actually pursue this. File a police report and see if anything shakes out while she calms down and hopefully comes to her senses. I'm pretty sure your sister stole your wedding gifts. I can't tell you why, but it's better to be done with someone who treats you like that. Your family knows who did it. Your sister's changing story, unreasonable anger, trying to blame you, lying about what you said. All classic behaviors of someone trying to deflect you. Either she's covering for someone or she did it herself. Your father forgetting to get you the camera footage? He knows who did it and is covering for them. The rest of the family icing you out? Either they know too or your sister is lying to them and they believe it. Good luck, OP. Your family is full of crap. She went berserk, despite no one accusing her directly. Then, cut all contact with you immediately after. Dude, she stole your shit. That anger is misplaced guilt, and her cutting contact completely is her cowardice. He 41M asked me, 37F, to marry him, and he hates my reaction. I really need some outside perspective because my head and heart are a mess right now. We've been on vacation for a few weeks, and today he planned a very romantic dinner. In the middle of it, he surprised me with a ring. Instead of saying an immediate yes, the only thing that came out of my mouth was, "Baby, are you sure? We've been having problems." He got extremely upset. He took the ring back, said I embarrassed him, and told me it was over. He said my reaction wasn't good enough, and then started listing ways I break his heart. He also made a jab about how I'd probably write about this because I've been writing stories and working on a book, clearly meant to hurt. For context, we've been together 7 years and living together most of that time. I've always wanted to marry him, even though he's always said he doesn't believe in marriage. Our early years were rocky, with multiple breakups. Since June I've been in therapy because I realized I'm a pushover and struggle in our fights, which can be messy and awful, alcohol involved. I've been trying to reflect on our relationship and even asked him to try therapy with me, but he's refused. He has been trying to improve, and I do appreciate that. But I also wanted us to talk about our issues before giving an immediate yes to marriage. Ever since I started therapy, we've been fighting weekly about me being less loving, and him feeling like I've changed. Now I'm heartbroken. I feel horrible for hurting him, but at the same time, if we can't even talk about something as big as marriage without everything blowing up, are we actually ready for it? Are we even right for each other anymore? I don't know if this is salvageable. It feels like the way things unfolded has broken something between us. What would you do in my situation? How do I even start processing this, or deciding what's next? Too long did not read. My boyfriend of 7 years proposed during a romantic dinner. I hesitated because of ongoing relationship issues, and he got very upset, took the ring back, said I embarrassed him, and started saying hurtful things. Our relationship has had rocky patterns, including messy alcohol-related fights, and I've been in therapy, trying to work on myself. Now I'm devastated and unsure whether this relationship is healthy or if marriage is even the right path. Looking for advice. In my honest opinion, he just provided immediate evidence for the source of your hesitancy in that very moment with his reaction. Seems like a case of a bruised ego and a failed attempt at putting a band-aid on your problems. If you cannot communicate about your relationship in a healthy way, or at least make a joint effort to bridge those gaps in communication, what else do you have? His refusal for therapy and prior disbelief in marriage speaks volumes here, though. It sounds like he thought the proposal would shut you up, to be honest. Honestly, I dropped all proposal-related problems when I got to the less loving due to therapy part. You changing literally is the goal of therapy. Pushovery people usually change by learning to set limits, articulate needs and wants, and to expect them being addressed, which is healthy. Assuming you're following the pattern, that could mean he is trying to revert that change because he prefers you more submissive, so the relationship centers around him. That definitely would qualify as a problem in the relationship. Take a deep breath and move on. He doesn't want you to change and be better than a pushover for him. Listen to what he said and move on. The sooner the better. You've outgrown him, and he isn't interested in growing with you. I think that's your answer. I think the ring was a desperate attempt to keep hold of you. He showed no signs of wanting to marry you when things were better, but now you're in therapy and improving your life and changing the way you react to him, and he wants things to stay the way they were. It's time to move on. My friend, he is a mess. Don't marry him. He took the ring back, said I embarrassed him, and told me it was over. Well, that's not how a couple close to an engagement should act when there is an issue or a serious question being asked. He does not take marriage seriously and seems a bit oblivious to the commitment. F21, my boyfriend M22, has a hygiene issue and it's giving me the ick. My boyfriend and I have been dating for almost a year. We're long distance, so we've only met physically twice. During those visits, we've spent at least 3-4 days together, and each of those times I've noticed he has an issue with his hygiene. He's very messy, doesn't worry about how he dresses, or even taking care of his body. The couple times we've showered together, he said that he can't scrub his body because it damages his skin, which is really weird to me, and he literally wouldn't pay attention to how he showers, that he'd leave the bathroom with soap all over his body. I understand that we are all different, and I was willing to let it go until I smelled him stinking like sweat the past couple times we were together. He doesn't have a signature scent or anything that makes him smell good. He just gets out of the bed, without brushing his teeth or showering, and goes about his day looking unkempt. Each time we have sex, I smell him and his private area. It's so nasty, and what makes it more annoying is that the scent will stick with me for days. My private area, and my pee will smell like it too, and for this reason I found an excuse telling him I don't want to have sex for a couple months. His mom once called him aside once and mentioned his bad smell to him. He didn't think I heard the conversation, but I did. He honestly isn't the easiest person to speak to. He's way too emotional for me, and I can't deal with whatever will come after if I try speaking to him about it. I love him so much, but he's giving me the ICK. So my question here specifically is, how do I go about this situation? Because at this point, I'm worried about my own health too. He's too careless. If you can't talk with him about these issues, then I'd honestly rethink the relationship. The fact that you two are having sex gives more than enough, right, to bring these things up. Girl, why are you dating someone like this? Where is your self-esteem? You can't stay with this pig. Tell him it's because he stinks. Break up and block him everywhere. You deserve better than this. You are better than this. Have some self-respect. You love him so much, but he also disgusts you, and he gets super defensive to the point you can't handle having conversations like this with him. This is the kind of thing that just proves love isn't enough. Love is so great, it feels good. But love needs honesty and transparency. Love needs mutual respect, and being humble enough to accept you need to change sometimes. You shouldn't muddle through this relationship just because you love who he is when you don't need to have hard talks or be right next to him. So he is too emotional for you. Isn't the easiest person to talk to. Has severe hygiene issues. You've been together for less than a year and have met a handful of times. Girl, please show yourself some respect and break up with him. There is a Polish saying that I like. Tego kwiata jest pol świata, there is half a world of this flower. Why are you with this slob? His mom once called him aside once and mentioned his bad smell to him. He didn't think I heard the conversation, but I did. He honestly isn't the easiest person to speak to. He's way too emotional for me, and I can't deal with whatever will come after if I try speaking to him about it. I love him so much. What do you love about him? I'll say what I wish someone told me at 21, you don't have to stay with him. It's a choice you're making, and you can choose differently. You deserve to be with someone that doesn't require you to lower your standards to the gutter to tolerate being with them.